Hi everyone, this is Edith with House of BBQ Experts. I'm here today with JP,
Hi, everyone.
barbecue master. And JP is the brains behind all of our rubs and sauces and flavor enhancer. And we're gonna review them all. JP, the last year I know you've been working on some pretty special projects and you can't tell us about it just yet, but it doesn't matter because I'm so excited. Look at this family of, how many kids did you want?
So I've always wanted to have 14 kids, and now it's done. I got 14 more.
You have 14,
except of the sauce, but that's another thing.
That's right, and you're probably going to have more, so get ready to have more. But all of these products have all come through from your travels, from entering and participating and competing in international barbecue competition. We're talking Memphis in May, American Royal. You've competed in France.
Yes. Almost everywhere on the planet. So
that's amazing. And I also see that you have a lot of flavors developed over the year that really suits the Canadian population. Canada is very multicultural. North America, for that matter, everywhere around the world. I mean, there's people, now there's no frontier. People don't wait for a boat and travel for 2 weeks to get to their new life, right? But I see that you've developed lots of different flavors, and I'd like to go through all of them one by one. So we'll start with this one.
That's a good idea.
Explorer. What is your inspiration for this particular rub, Explorer?
So the Explorer is our most versatile rub of all the lineup. It is made for pork, chicken. You can grill some veggies, some beef. You can cook some fish, some shrimps. You can cook almost anything with the Explorer. And we wanted to have something really different from all of our rub because we have many inspirational rub from a specific country or a specific barbecue region, region. So, like Kansas and Texas. So we wanted something that would fit on anything, anywhere you go, and anything you want to grill or you want to smoke. So here it is. Explorer is our most easygoing and for everyone spice of all the BBQ Experts lineup.
And this, although not certified gluten-free, this you would say is somewhat gluten-free. It's all pure ingredients. There's no added nothing. It really is the purest. And that's why you called it Explorer too, because it's just like a tree hugger. Someone who goes in the forest. Exactly. The pictures on all of those brands also shows the inspiration and image as well as the name, and you can see that anyone who likes to travel could carry that in their backpack and just travel the world and use it anywhere they go to make.
That's why we call it Explorer, because you can just, if you want to have one spice for everything, that will be the one.
That would be the one.
Yes.
Next one in the lineup, and in no particular order, California.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one is one of my favorites. I actually know a little bit of those. I've had a chance to taste them. And this one, my friend, on grilled vegetables, is the bomb. What can you tell me about California?
So California is a really more fresh seasoning. You have some thyme in it. There's some rosemary. You got some big chunk of salt, so it's gonna melt slowly on the food, on the fish, on the veggies. One of the best recipes you can do with the California are the potatoes. I don't know if you've tried the potatoes, or even the corn. The corn with California is really, really good. But you know what is really, really, really interesting with the California rub is that it wasn't born for the steaks. It wasn't born for red meat. We really created for veggies and for fish, and a little bit of chicken, but really, really more into the white meat. And once we've tried it with the steak, my mind was blown. It was so good, and I would recommend anybody who have the California rub at home to try it with the steak. You can also mix it with something like Texas that we're gonna talk a little bit later, but California is crazy good with the red meat.
Awesome. Jamaican Jerk. Now this one, I know that everybody thinks it's going to be burning your mouth when you eat anything that is Caribbean-ish. I can feed this to my kids.
No problem. No problem with that.
Flavorful, no heat.
So what we wanted to create with our own Jamaican jerk is compared to the regular jerk that is kind of heaty, kind of hot. And there's a lot of pepper in those blends. When you go straight to Jamaica, everybody who's been to Jamaica, they've tried the jerk chicken, the jerk pork, and it's so good, but not for everyone because there's
you need to be able to handle the heat.
There's sometimes so much heat in those mix. But this one has been specially created to represent the real blend, the real flavors from Jamaica. But for everyone, if you want your kids or someone in your family that doesn't eat really spicy, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this blend.
Perfect. Montreal now. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this one because I know this one. Home base in Montreal for House of BBQ Experts. Montreal steak spice, and correct me if I'm wrong, was initially created to cure meat. So
Yes.
lots of high salt content to cure meat, make pastrami. Everybody knows the famous Montreal smoked meat. This is a new version of Montreal steak spice. We now call it Montreal steak spice. Less salt. So what happens when you remove the salt from a jar this size? You need to replace it with ingredients, good ingredients, right?
So we kept the same ingredients as the Montreal spice, the real version of the Montreal spice had.
So the flavor profile.
So the same flavor profile, but not with the same percentage and not with the same quality of spices inside. So just as for the salt, we always only use the Himalayan salt, the sea salt. We don't use like regular salt or iodized salt. So we only use good salt, and with way less salt, you can add more if you want after, but with way less salt, you don't pay for salt, you pay for good quality of spices. So we kept the same blend, the same magic that everyone and everybody on the planet like. And you know, Montreal spice all around the world is one of the most sold spice, but everybody go for a really more salty version of it. So with this one, there's less than 20% of salt, and you pay for quality, you pay for the good flavor. And if you want to add salt later, like any of our rub, you can add the salt after the cooking. So
As a garnishing or finishing salt. And
Exactly.
it's the best way to enjoy it too, because then it's not melted and you can really taste the salt.
yes,
Argentina. Now I see this and I think chimichurri, but wait a minute. This is dry in a bottle, so clearly good on lamb. What could you do with this Argentinian rub?
so this was born to be a dried chimichurri.
Okay.
So you can add some oil with that and some vinegar, and just add a little bit of fresh parsley, and you've got your 100% best chimichurri you'll ever have. But this rub is also exactly what we wanted to taste when we come back from Argentina. So the Argentina rub is exactly, if you go to Argentina and talk to an Argentinian and ask him to do the best steak he can do for you on a real docho, and with the fire, the grate that goes up and down, and the real flavor of even the smoky flavor, you get it in the Argentinian rub. So it is one of my favorite. You can use it with beef, you can use it on almost any kind of meat, and you can also use it on fish and with veggies. So it's really special mix, but with the smoky blend inside, it's really good.
Nice. Next one up, New Delhi. This is, my friend, an answer to our customers.
Yes, absolutely.
People don't necessarily think of, when we think of grilling anything and the big barbecues and whatever, for the most part, it's inherent to different cultures around the world. Everybody started grilling on fire, but we would think about the whole Texas or Kansas City.
Yes, exactly.
People in India, they like to grill, and they come here and they like to find their flavor into a barbecue or a grilling rub. So tell me about.
And they will find it in New Delhi because it has been made and it was born to reproduce, everything that you could find and taste in India and in New Delhi, but with a barbecue touch, with a barbecue hint. So the New Delhi, you can use it on shrimps, you can use it on chicken, you can use it on many meats and many veggies. You have the garam masala inside. There's a little bit of ginger also inside, and just one bite of it will make you travel to India.
Wow. Okay, well, I might actually need to take this one home. Cake. Now, what can we grill with a cake style rub?
So
Tell me
this
about
one
this.
is our most special rub because usually, the rub is is used to put on meat, on veggies.
Yeah, they're more savory dishes.
More savory, but this one is a really sugary one. It's a really different spice because we use it on veggies. You can also use it with a mix, like even when you do the ribs, you could mix some Kansas with the cake and add a little bit of chocolate flavor to the ribs. Not too much, just a little hint, and it will be really good. But with the fruit, all the fruits you want to grill, the apple, the orange, the bananas, like
Pineapple,
any fruit,
peaches.
pineapple with this is really good.
This is also good, and I'm sure you thought of it or you've tried it yourself, but I like to put this on my coffee.
You're right. In any coffee, in any dessert, you want to add it in your cookie recipe, you can add it because it is 100% sugary flavor. There's no salt in this one.
And there's also a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit
Yes.
of coffee. Do you
There's
find?
coffee, there's cinnamon, there's chocolate. You got everything to feel like Christmas and feel like good time, good sugary time.
So the one thing
It's
that
like a
people
candy.
need to remember about this one is that as you like to add a finishing salt on any of your savory dishes, save this as your finishing sugar on any sweet dishes.
Exactly.
Kansas. Now, Kansas, clearly, you guys were traveling to Kansas. You went to a barbecue competition there, had a blast. It's in some other videos. And you came home and you said, you know what? There was some spectacular flavors out there. I need to offer this to my customers and make it for yourself. Everything you make is for yourself first.
Always
right?
for
You
me
always-
and my friend and my family, but then if it's really good, I want to offer it to my customer. And to be honest with you, I didn't have the time to come back home to create this one because I was so excited to reproduce Kansas City in a bottle that I had to do it straight in the plane. So I tried to mix in the plane, but it was a little bit shaky. So when I came home, this is when I create the final version of Kansas. And this one is our bestseller. This one is our most barbecue version of all our rubs. They are all barbecue version and they are all really good.
So a pork shoulder
But
with
this is for big
is
beefs,
killer.
exactly. For pork shoulders, for ribs. You can put it on a whole turkey, on chicken, on drumsticks. You can also make a steak with this kind of rub because the sugar in it is the raw cane sugar. So it's a sugar, different sugar that can go at a way higher temperature, and that's why we use it. And all of our rub, they have the best sugar we can use. We don't put regular sugar that's gonna burn and that's gonna
Change the flavor.
change the flavor of your meat. So this was burned to barbecue, and anybody that want to level up his game of barbecuing and of grilling and smoking, I would recommend to go with a Kansas rub.
That's awesome. Booster now, different label,
Yes.
reverse color, and because it has a different use.
It is a
it's
complete
a flavor
different product.
enhancer.
Exactly.
I like to put it as my salt on my salad, but what can you grill with this?
So you can grill absolutely anything, and just as you said, you can also add it to anything that you want to enhance. So this is the best friend of all our other rubs. This is something that you can put before the rub. Any rub that you have, you can put it before adding it. And after you finish cooking, when your meat is almost done, this is when you can sprinkle a little bit more, or even at the end, completely at the end, when you're cutting your meat, you taste it, and if I would like to have an extra blast, an explosion in my mouth, this is where you could add a little bit more of Booster. So Booster is a more salty version of a rub. It is not a rub, but you can use it as a rub. And there's not like 50% salt. It's not only salt. There's need to have salt in this version more than in, let's say, Montreal or in cake because of what it is made for.
The flavor in it.
Exactly. But it's not only salt.
It opens your palate, excites your mouth, and then you're ready to really taste everything else.
With this one, your tongue will go crazy.
Booster, and all the people that follow you on social go crazy for Booster. We know that as well.
Booster.
Steakinator. Now, I think the name speaks for itself.
Yes. But did you know that you can also do chicken steak and pork steak? You can literally make tofu steak. Any kind of steak with Steakinator, but it was made to make a special crust, and when you put it on your tongue, it will really reflect the flavor of the meat. So it is a good friend of my friend here, the Booster. They work really well together, and there's just a little bit of heat inside.
So the Steakinator, JP, for what I understand, it can be enjoyed on its own, or it can be also used with another of your favorite steak rub, whether you want to have Argentina or Montreal. You can combine them. It's a finer grain, so it will fill the holes and really coat, make a great crust. Now, the thing about Steakinator that you explained to me in the past, I hope I remember right, is that it will create a crust, it will render a little bit of heat. And as you have this one bite, that's the kind of rub that will make you enjoy and appreciate that one bite. Just that extra 2 seconds before you take the next.
Exactly.
You put this on a steak. I'm hungry now. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
This is the steak maker.
The steak maker. The next one on this row is Caribbean, and that one is one of my favorites. And the same way you said we could use Steakinator on chicken if we love the flavor. Of course, it'll make a nice crust on chicken. Caribbean could be used on anything else, but I feel it's really meant for seafood and fish.
Exactly. Shrimps with salmon, it's incredibly good. If you have some truths, if you want to grill any kind of fish, any kind of seafood, and it's also good, just as you said, with chicken, with the lemony blend, and there's some really good sugar inside, also the raw cane sugar. That's one of my favorite rub.
Sprinkle of that on oyster.
Exactly, that's a good mix.
Amazing. JP, Tex-Mex.
Oh.
Tex-Mex, Mexican, heat. What's your inspiration? Because I have so many ideas of this. This takes me to a lot of destination, but of course, I love spicy rubs.
And this is our most spicy one. We're gonna surprise in the next weeks, in the next month, but I will not get to there. But for Tex-Mex, presently, it's our most spicy one, it's our most hot one, and that's my favorite rub of all the rubs we have on the table. You can put it on anything and any sauce.
But not overkilling.
It's not overkilling. If you want to add any kind of explosion of heat, of anything that you want to bring to the next level of heat without adding too much, the Tex-Mex will do it.
And I think that we also taste a little bit of the pepper. What kind of hot pepper is in this blend of rub?
The magic inside this rub is the cayenne.
Oh, nice.
The cayenne is, I think, one of the best pepper in the planet. There are many pepper on the planet that are harder than the cayenne. But as for flavor, I think the cayenne is the best one. So this is why we've used it in this one. And there's also other blend of pepper and other flavors inside that just complete perfectly this blend. So you can add it on your meat to enhance the flavor and enhance the hotness. But also you can put it in any sauce that you're doing, and just you can mix it with any kind of rub. So let's say I want a spicy steak, I could mix the Texas or the Steakinator with the Tex-Mex, and it's going to be really good.
Fajita, you can rub this on your pieces of beef, and then you can assemble fajita. Delicious. I've tried it.
You know the little packet of flavor, the little packet of spices they give with the tacos inside the box. Mm-hmm. The good old box we buy at the grocery store. So
forget about that.
Just forget that, and you take the Tex-Mex, you put a lot of it, and you go. Your meal will go like 2 times better.
That's it. We're just making all those Mexican food product go under. Texas. This one here is when we missed you for a long time in the office. You took your car, you decided to drive 10,000 miles, 26 states. You got to Texas, and when you got there, what did you find? A purest way to enjoy steaks and meat. Tell us about the Texas rub.
So in Texas, they surely know how to cook steaks, that's for sure. But they go always with their most purest version. They always go with the SPG or sometimes only salt and pepper. But I'm much more of a blend guy, so I decided to create my own SPG and
SPGO.
SPGO, exactly, because usually SPG is salt, pepper, and garlic, and we add the onion because we want it a little bit more flavorful, but also I found some really good quality of salt, of pepper. The pepper inside of this is the holy grail of pepper. So if you're a fan of pepper at home, or even you, like I do, I love this pepper inside of this. Texas is really good with steak.
And this is what I was going to say. One could think that, hey, why do I need to buy this? Salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, done. No. The pepper is a special blend of pepper, because we all know that pepper, there are tons of different variety of peppers. So you guys have picked the right pepper, high quality salt, true dehydrated vegetables to add to the mix, and it makes for the best crust on steaks.
Exactly, and this one is the easiest blend when we think about it, when we see it, but it was the longest to mix because we really wanted to have the best quality of all the ingredients inside, just as everything we got here, but we wanted something different.
So we need to give this one a shake every time before we use it
Always.
to make sure that
Yes.
it's well blended. This little guy is a little bigger than the other ones, and it's the sweet Kansas City version. So the sweet version of the Kansas
Yes.
City, you would use that on larger pieces of meat, I suppose. Personally, my kids love this one, so this is the one that we use on pretty much everything at home, from pork chops to sweet potatoes to everything. But what is the difference between the two, and how would you use this one?
So the sweet Kansas has been made to be the Kansas version, but 2 times more sweet. So we added much more raw sugar cane in this one. There's twice the amount of sugar cane, and that's why we made a bigger size. But for anybody who like the Kansas version but want a little bit more sweet version of it, the sweet Kansas has been exactly made for
So
that.
on ribs, people sometimes they don't like to eat ribs that are drenched in sauce. This would be the right one because it will give that extra sugar flavor to it, and you'll still be able to have a nice crust and
Crust, the
beautifully-
caramelization with this one and this one, they go really nice. The best looking pork butt that you can cook will be with the Kansas and the sweet Kansas, but I have a little bit for the pork butt especially. I really like the sweet Kansas because of the amount of sugar
So
inside
delicious.
and the quality of the sugar. It won't burn, it will just slowly melt on the meat. And when you look at the meat, you'll want to bite into it, but it's not going to be ready. So just wait a little
Just
bit
hold
more.
yourself.
Yes.
This is a larger size. We also have 3 larger sizes that,
Yes.
according to our customers, and they wanted to have larger sizes, we developed in Montreal, Argentina, and Kansas
Yes.
in what we call the 1 pounder pouch. So those pouches, larger pouches, are 6 or 7 times the quantity of a jar. When you do large pieces of meat, if you're going to make a brisket, if you're going to make a huge pork butt, pork shoulder, you need a larger amount of rubs, and those are also developed based on receiving feedback from your customer that said, JP,
Exactly.
I love to do my pork shoulder with Kansas, but I need to buy 6 jars of those.
When-
He said,
when
no
people-
problem, my friend, let me
Yes.
make you a bag of it.
We always try to listen to the feedbacks of the customers, and because it was the much more asked one, we made it. Maybe sometime in the future, we'll have more of these.
We'll have more.
of these bags.
Thank you so much. These are 14 incredible dry marinade and rub, and I like to specify this because you can also marinate. If you do a marinade on salmon for cold smoking, for instance, you'll use some of your cake and Kansas and whatnot and dry marinate it overnight. There are so many recipes. You need to follow us on BBQ-Experts.com. Tons of recipes, tons of creation from JP Lavoie, Barbecue Master, and more to come. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.